Good afternoon everybody, and a very warm welcome to Berringer. And today, you weren't really meant to see my face, to be honest. It was meant to be just the final running session today. However, that is going to be tagged onto the end of this video, so this is actually the final video. But since my last video that I put up, I hadn't really quite realised the effect that that Berringer had on people, and I was just overwhelmed by the lovely comments and messages of support from all of you guys. And rather than put one-liners on to answer your comments and things like that, and just sort of go, yeah, thank you very much, you know, it's really kind of you, you know, and it just seemed a bit bland and too samey. I just wanted to tell you personally how much I appreciate it, because I really didn't expect the sort of comments that I've been getting and the messages of support, and you know, wishing me well on my new layout and also my new home, and wishing me well personally. And it was just so overwhelming with some of it. It was just, you know, and you know, people saying how much they love the layout and it's going to be sad. And I wanted to give a special shout out to a few people, because the first one's Dave Trains, and I've been subscribing to his videos for some time now, and he's been subscribing to me, and he put up a lovely tribute video towards Berringer, and I just want to say a big massive shout out and thank you to Dave Trains for doing that. It was totally unexpected, and I'm glad he enjoyed my layout. And like I said, I will, if I remember, I'm not very good with technology, but if I know how to do it, I'll shove a link below to it so you guys can go and watch it if you so wish. And it's just things like that you kind of just think, wow, you know, people really appreciated the railway and the work and the effort that I've done. They've enjoyed what I've been doing. You know, they've learned things from me, and I've learned things from you guys, like I said before. And it's just amazing the amount of responses and the type of responses that I've been getting. I also wanted to shout out to Jason over at Barnabas Junction, because he's been very sweet to me as well, and you know, we've been chatting away, and you know, he's been really supportive as well, as many of you have been too. And one of my an unexpected shout out has to be to Morat, my local kebab shop owner. He doesn't often get a shout out, but I'm going to give him a shout out, because he's actually helping me with the move, in terms of he's providing me with cardboard boxes and stuff like that, so I'm not having to spend money on that, so that's saving me money, so that's brilliant. So top tip for you, you know, getting with your local kebab shop owner, you never know, it might come in handy someday for something else. So good food and free cardboard boxes, so can't really go wrong. So just quickly before we move on, I'll just quickly show you the state of play, because I did put up in this video directly after this clip a little tour of how layout went round the flat, because I had a subscriber, I can't remember the name for the life of me, my apologies, who wanted to have a quick look to see how it encompasses the flat. But what I'm going to show you right now is the actual state of play with the layout, because it has actually been dismantled, not totally, not by any stretch, but I've made a good start on getting things taken down, so I just thought I'd show you where we're at. So bear with me and I'll show you around. So really the only thing really that's left here on this layout is my 416 EPB. That's the only thing, and these wagons currently. It's because I just need to find the box from, that's why that's there. But I've already made a start on removing platform furniture. I've already removed the building that was there. So there's a few, I didn't have many, but I had a few Blackman resin buildings, and so, but I didn't have any boxes for them, so I've started sort of bubble wrapping them and packaging them away and stuff like that. So that's the kind of thing that I've been doing really. The cars I haven't got round to doing yet, but I've started removing bits and pieces from the town scene, some of the vehicles, some of the property that was on there, you know, telephone boxes and things like that. That was here, and letter boxes and stuff. So slowly we're kind of getting to a point where we're starting dismantling this bit. This end has still yet to be sort of touched, I suppose, but I have made a start. The signal box is gone. This end is where I'm now sort of at a point where I'm just starting to get to this bit, but basically this whole kind of kitchen area is now basically a kitchen again. And as you can see, there's nothing here anymore. So it's just basically back to basics now. It's just a normal kitchen. So all of this bit is now gone. So basically I'm now working my way around the layout. So we're getting there. But like I said, I'm just going to love you and leave you at this point, and I'm going to put you we're just going to attach you onto the rest of the video now. So bye from Berringer and Districts. Thank you so much for all your kind messages and support, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. So for one last time, it's going to be, everyone's seen this, but we're going to do it to make sure that anyone who hasn't captured it before can see how it kind of affects my life. To the right here is the bathroom, and as you can see, I've kind of built a wardrobe here and here to hang stuff up. I've got storage up here, down here and up there, which is basically all my wigs and hair pieces and extensions and things like that. My railway gets stuck in the middle, and I've got some storage for some of my rolling stock. This is now all rolling stock that doesn't have boxes. So this is all stuff that now has to be sort of carefully packaged and then put in one of these boxes that Morat has supplied. My local kebab shop has supplied. So they're all the same. So I'm just going through all these boxes. So again, a big thank you to him. So basically all this now has to be packed away into those boxes. And this is kind of like my dressing area, or was kind of the dressing area kind of thing. If I just sort of reverse out, this kind of led to this kind of odd corner, because there's a wall there, and because I was renting I couldn't put a hole through the wall, so I had to go around it. So that's how that is. And that's the main front door, and then I've got this bridge section which then just pops up, and then that kind of comes up to there and connects to that, and that bridges the gap. And then we've got the main layout which kind of follows the outer perimeter of the flat, and basically this was a TV cabinet unit down here. Well it is. I'm not sure whether that's going or not, I'm not sure. And then the main layout actually sits on a bookcase which is on its side, but when I moved in it was upright and it was a proper bookcase, but he didn't want the bookcase, so I decided to turn it horizontally, and then after that created a nice length for the layout, the main layout, which runs along the top of the bookcase basically. But in all this wood, like I said, the bookcase itself was free, it didn't cost me anything. All the wood that you see here that I've used is all free, it was all recycled. So it's all kind of like stuff that hasn't really, it's just time just to put it all up. Again, the main town scene that sits on top of wood battens and things like that, which again was all recycled, and that sits on top of my bed, which is just down here. And as we spin round, it kind of crosses the bay window, and it still follows the outer perimeter of the wall of the flat, and then it finally sort of comes round and into the kitchen area. So, and then that kind of goes around the outer perimeter, and then obviously it just runs above the sink. So that's kind of as far as the layout went. Now, since I'm here, I did say I wanted to show you something.
and I wanted to show you this. This is my latest recruit. Which seems, so it just goes to show you that even though I no longer have a layout, well, shortly I won't be, um, I'm still planning on building one. And I managed to get this DMU from Rails of Sheffield, and they're doing a fantastic deal currently. There's quite a number of fantastic deals going on at the moment, because I think Rails were doing MP. I think it was Rails or Hattons, one of the two, were doing MPVs for about 60 quid or something like that. Now this particular Batman Class 101 is currently going for £90. Was it 90? Yes, I paid 91 including postage for this particular unit, which I think is really, really reasonable when you consider how much they were before. It's about, somebody said it's about saving of about 50 quid or so. That's sort of the current saving. I remember when I was looking at buying one of these originally, it was about 135, 139.99, something like that. But that obviously depends on where you go. So to get this for 90 quid is a real steal, in my view anyway. Now, this is in the blue-grey era and livery, and this is how most of my layout is. I like the blue-grey a lot. And I think Batman have done a good job with this 101. There's one thing that really bugs me though about it. Somebody had mentioned before on YouTube that the Class 108 Batman, which I have two, one's a blue-grey, the other one's an NSE, needed two decoders because if you're running on DCC, because it didn't have the electrical connection between the two coaches, so you needed to have two decoders. And everyone was raving about how this particular unit, the 101, it's now negated that necessity to have two decoders because it's got an electrical power bar between the two. But the actual power bar is an actual weak point. And I've had this happen to me, not with just the 101, I've had it happen to me with my 150 as well. That the actual drawbar in the middle here, now you can see it on this one. I mean, I haven't pushed it all the way in because I didn't even want to. It was so tight, and it's such a weak point as well because it's actually joined in two pieces. There's the top half and the bottom half, and if you push it in too hard, you'll split it in two. Now you can push it back in, but it is a weak point which I think they should address. I mean, once it's in, but I like I said, I only put this 101 on here because I just wanted to test run it to make sure it worked. It does come with two drawbars, and at the end of the day, if I needed to go to my local bottle shop, I could buy a pack of drawbars anyway, so it's not the end of the world. It's not like a deal breaker or anything, but I just think that Batman should really take a look at the way that they produced that particular drawbar, because I think it's actually a weak point. Like I said, it just splits in the middle because it's made in two separate pieces. So, but that being said, it's actually a really fantastic little unit, two-car unit, and it's the sort of thing that kind of graces any layout really. And for the money, it's well worth the money. I think. I mean, I've just bought the Dapol 122. I'm not actually sure if I've shown you that. In fact, what I'll do is I'll quickly get it out and I'll show you, just in case I haven't actually shown you. So here is my Dapol 122. This is another new recruit that I bought fairly recently. I did put it up on the running session, which I haven't actually put up yet, so you might not have seen this. And this is a lovely little unit produced by Dapol. It really is. I mean, it is so beautiful. It's well worth the money. I mean, this one's I think it's about £130, I think. 120. I think it's 126, I think I paid in the end, something like that. And but it's an absolutely stunning model, you have to say. It's got yeah, it's got directional lighting, cabin lighting, interior lighting, and destination lighting, as does the 101. However, the detail on this is absolutely exquisite. If you just sort of take a look at the detail along there, that is absolutely stunning. And it's so smooth as well. It trundles around so smoothly. So like I said, this is just definitely my cup of tea, really. And it just looks so well, just trundling around the layout. I mean, that's why I love DMUs. I just love seeing them trundling around, just minding their own business, kind of thing. So that's the 101 and the 122 anyway. And these will feature on my layout. So I'm looking forward to now building a new layout, and obviously, it's really sad to see this go. It really is. But I'm going to be learning quite a bit from this layout, because there's a few bits that I wasn't really overly happy about, and that's to do with the fact of when I first built it, that I didn't realise. It's like anything when we first build layouts, especially if you're sort of inexperienced and stuff, you kind of learn by your mistakes to a degree. I mean, even now I consider myself a pretty experienced modeller, but I still kind of need to learn from my mistakes and stuff. One of the big things I want to learn from is my back scenes. My back scenes were all kind of a bit kind of mishmashed together, and I want to try and get a nice continuous back scene, and I think that makes all the difference. And I should give you an example. This is the last one I did here, and then it kind of goes into blank there. If you kind of see how it goes there, and you kind of see it, there's a bit that's hand painted, there's a bit of sky, then it kind of goes into the housing area, and then it sort of goes along, and then you kind of got this bit again, where it's kind of, so this is one of the things that, but again, when I first built the layout, it was one of the kind of first things I did, and obviously, that's a long time ago, and obviously the layout progressed and changed since then. One of the other things I'm going to learn from this layout is this bit here. This kind of incline never really worked, and I was always struggling, because when I originally built the layout again, the layout finished here. It was a terminating layout, and there's a slight height difference between the actual TV unit and the actual bookcase, but it's enough of a difference that you've got to raise and create a gradient in order to get up and over it, and because it's on the bend, it's just causing all sorts of issues. And I've never really ballasted this, because I've never really got down to the nitty gritty of it. To a degree, it's kind of taken that headache away from me, because now I don't have to really deal with that no more. So that's something else I'm going to learn, and I guess it's sad to see it go, but there are things to learn from it. And also, I mean, stuff like building my own station building these fascias, these are skills I've now learnt from this layout that I'll take on to the next layout. But my new layout, I'm thinking, is not going to have a station on it. It might have a very small station on it, but I'm more inclined at the moment to have a sweeping layout, is what I'm now thinking about, because one of my favourite bits of my whole layout has to be, and like I've said this before, is my rock face. And it really is, and I'm now thinking to myself that this rock face is going to be somehow incorporated into my new layout. And like I said, what I'm going to do is I'll be careful taking it down, but I don't have to be too careful about it, because you can always easily blend this all in. And if that's the case, as I'm doing it, I will show you exactly how I'm going to do it, just in case it's like you guys, I know it looks good, and and it's just a shame to take it down, but if it can be reused and made to look good again, then it's kind of a success in that sense. So hopefully I'll be able to pick the bones out of a lot of this stuff that's here, and we'll be able to use it and we'll see what we come up with. Anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you all. Like I said, a big massive thank you and shout out to all of you guys, each and every one of you who've taken the time to watch my video, to comment and to just pass me on your best wishes and your thoughts on Berringer. It is so much appreciated. So from Berringer, like I said, this time it will be just the one video and it will be a running session. So bye from Berringer.